So today I am making some kimchi for my family because we are having Korean barbecue for dinner. And I, for one, love kimchi. So I decided to make some out of one cucumber that I had left over and then also one tomato that I had left over from previous meals. And then I also included some green onions here. So the first thing you want to do is wash very well all of your ingredients, and then I chop them up into fourths. And I mean, this can really vary on how big or how small you prefer it. I ended up thinking that they were a little bit too big, especially the cucumber. So I could have just diced it maybe into 1 or 2 inches. I think this is like 4 inches per piece, so it's a little big. And so then you want to just sprinkle them with a little bit of salt, set them aside, and then move on to your kimchi paste. So the first thing you want to do is, I didn't have an Asian pear, so I just used an apple that I had. So one thing I messed up on here is I started grating it with the skin. So please make sure you remove the skin, and then just use one of your graters, and then just grate it up. I used the whole apple, and then later on I decided I didn't want to use the whole apple, so you'll see me taking some out of the pot. So next I went ahead and I started chopping up the extra pieces of apple just because I am very frugal. So I like to use everything that I chop up. I want to use the whole apple, if you will. Next, you want to mince your garlic. So the way that I mince my garlic is I just chop it up really finely, and then I sprinkle on some salt, and I use the back non-sharp part of my knife to then apply some pressure and scrape it up until it's minced. Make sure you're using the back part. That is a very important part of that. So next, I sprinkled on some Korean red pepper flakes, some fish sauce, and then also some honey. And then you just want to mix that all until it is incorporated. And then lastly, I added some ginger that I keep frozen. I mince it up and I keep it frozen. That's just the best way that works for me. Next, you want to make sure you rinse off all of your salt from the tomato and the cucumber. And I wasn't happy of how thick my kimchi was, or the kimchi paste, so I just went ahead and used a manual handheld blender, mixed that all up. So now I included the half of the green onions into my cucumbers, and I added a dollop of the paste. Mix that all together and do the same thing with the tomatoes. And then once you get the how much kimchi paste you want in there, you taste test and add more if you want. Thank you so much for watching. Next is my seaweed soup.